Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
Senator Harris said,
"Call her laughing, Kamala. Ever watch her laugh? She's crazy. You know, you can tell a lot by her laugh. No, she's crazy. She's nuts." Call her laughing, Kamala. Ever watch her laugh? She's crazy. You know, you can tell a lot by her laugh. No, she's crazy. She's nuts. Call her laughing, Kamala. Ever watch her laugh? She's
Shalom. Call Haloyam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Rachak Kodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Shalom and double honors unto the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwath of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video entitled, "Our People Will Still Blindly Vote for This POS," which means piece of shit. You know, this Kamala Harris, you see the her track record is filthy, is wicked, it's degenerate, it's hateful, you know, and it's despicable, actually. You know, she has a very dishonorable legacy that she's left, that she will leave in the earth, and she will be judged mightily for it. She locked up innocent brothers like it was going out of style, innocent men, and then also men that, you know, and locked up men that, you know, for weed charges, right, for marijuana charges. But then when everything was made legal now, you know, over in California, they didn't overturn those convictions. And also, you know, it was a man on death row that she refused to release the evidence that proved that that man that she was going to have executed was innocent. And then the Supreme Court had to force her to, hours before that man's appointment with the lethal injection, the Supreme Court forced that witch to release the information that she was holding on to, that she would not release, you know. And so, and then that man was able to be saved from the lethal injection. So she has blood on her hands. But our people, especially the dumb black woman, is lining up and championing and parading and all over social media, speaking about how they're going to just line up in droves to vote for Kamala Harris just because she looks like them and she's a woman. You know, our people are extremely foolish, and even Donald Trump, he's a fool as well. So it takes one to know one, but he knows that Kamala Harris is psychotic, and he called it out, right? So we'll start here in the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 21 and verse 20. A fool lifted up his voice with laughter, But a wise man doeth scarce smile a little. That means a wise man, he rarely smiles. So a fool lift up their voice, with laughter. And and a woman, this witch, she's out of place, because a woman is to never have a place, in society over a man. And that's in her. If she became the president, she would be over all the men in this country, and really over the whole earth. Because why? America is the world superpower. So whoever the puppet president is, that's the representation of the power over everybody in the earth as well. So, but that's the prophecy. The Most High said that he would do a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. So this is prophecies coming to pass with our women over the top of us in our households and in our nation, and then at every place, pretty much. That's that feminist movement that's really taken a stranglehold over here in America over the last, since the integration around the 60s, 70s. So this woman is a fool. She laughs, and that's because she doesn't know a damn thing. But she also has slept her way to the top. There's reports about that. She slept with all of these men to get into the political field, and then slept her way to the top. She's a filthy, wicked whore that hates Israelite men, especially the tribe of Judah, the so-called black man. And the Most High is going to judge her something very horrible for her wickedness. Ecclesiastes 7:6. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. So she's a vapor. She can get around, parade around, and laugh, and think that and people take that, oh, she's a cool person, and she's real chill. She's like the average person, but she's a psycho. And that's the scary thing about, we fear only the Most High, but that's the creepy thing about it, that you have these kind of people that are making the decisions that's over us. We're ruled over by children, and psychotic children. So when we get that in the NLT, a fool's laughter is quickly gone, like thorns crackling in a fire. This also is meaningless. And it's just like her existence is meaningless, but she's wicked, fulfilling her lot as being a part of the wicked, and she will receive her judgment. Unless she repents, but, it's more than likely too late for this woman. She's exceedingly wicked and filthy, like the wicked elites, so-called elites. But, because her father is because brothers believe that she's an Elamite, so-called East Indian, but her mother is an East Indian, and her father is so-called Jamaican. So I did a lot of research to try to see if he, has roots to the East Indians, the Elamites. But more than likely, she is actually a Benjamite, which hates her own people. She is a demon, and she will be judged. Jeremiah 4:22. Thus saith the Lord. When you understand the scriptures and understand what's righteousness and what's wickedness and their deeds, that's how you can confidently say that a person will be judged, unless they repent, unless some things is just too egregious. She has a lot of blood on her hands. Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Like this witch Kamala, she is wise to do evil, psychotic laughter, just the triumphing of the wicked is for a moment, because she's triumphing, and she's enjoying the fruits of her wicked deeds and labor, and sleeping her way to the top, and destroying so-called black man, the tribe of Judah. But she has no understanding, she has no inclination, no desire to do that which is good, which is what? Being a brother and a sister, according to the commandments. Because she's a murderer. She destroys her people. So it says, so that word, sadish. Fool. So she's a fool, you know. And then we'll get the NLT, the translation comparison. My people are foolish and do not know me, says the Lord Yahweh. They are stupid children who have no understanding. They are clever enough at doing wrong, but they have no idea how to do right. And that's this Kamala Harris and all of the wicked 2/3 Israelites, you know, that's thoroughly polluted and thoroughly tainted by the philosophies of Babylon the Great. So real quick, I'll get it in the Good News translation as well. Let's see. Ecclesiastes, and this is, what was that? Jeremiah. Not Jeremiah, yeah, Jeremiah 4:22. The Lord Yahweh says, my people are stupid, they don't know me. They are like foolish children, they have no understanding, they are experts at doing what is evil. And she's a politician. She was in her expert political office, you know, expertly executing wickedness by doing all of her power, exercising her power and authority over there when she was a part of the Attorney General's office, I believe, presiding over these prosecuting trials. You know, she held on with the iron fist, was doing her best to not let go of the evidence that would, you know, release an innocent man from the death penalty. They are experts at doing what is evil, but failures at doing what is good. So she's a failure, and you know, she's a spiritual failure. So she's going to receive the second death, which is by thermonuclear fire, the lake of fire. Like I say, you know, unless she repent, but like I say, she's too deep in that filth over there, you know, with these wicked elites. Let's see. We'll go from there to Deuteronomy. So our people are simple, you know, they don't understand the plainness of the scriptures. Deuteronomy 17 and 15, they want to just continue to rebel. It says, verse 15, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord Yahweh, thy power, shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. So that means what? So what does that mean? This verse proves that voting in our enemies, this enemy stranger, the Edomites' elections, that is wicked and going off. That is a commandment that they're breaking. They're going against the commandments of the Most High by voting, putting their vote of confidence in not only man, but in a heathen man, the worst man in the history of mankind. And then you're not putting your vote of confidence in the Almighty power. We're not to participate in these elections, but our stupid black women that love the society and have been now completely let loose. They're out of their minds, and they do whatever. They're given totally unto Satan, and they do whatever the so-called white man, aka the devil, tells them what to do. And now, especially, you know, Biden stepping down and giving his approval and his vote to his you know, he's given her the, you know, the boost, or you know, I'm trying to find a word, but he's giving her the nod, you know, to continue in his stead, right? And we know the so-called black woman, she loves the so-called white man and hates her brother. Anything the white man says, she eats it up. And then, especially as a woman too, you know, there's been a lot of foolish posts by women, you know, on social media regarding Kamala and everything since then as well. You know, this is a very filthy. Our black women have become traitors. You know, they've become very terrible. You know, and it will be remembered how the black woman has gone off and how she's shown her ass against her brother over here in Babylon the Great. So we'll go to Job 39 and 17. Because Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. So the woman is deprived of wisdom. The Most High has deprived her of wisdom. The Most High power Yahweh has. Neither imparted into her understanding. So why are our people wanting to vote for a woman? The woman is not to lead. She is the body, and she's not the head. The man's the head. But, she's been gassed up by this feminism. Our women had some sense and decency before integration, because during segregation, she was in more order than she was, in order. A lot, far more than she is now. So close to 90% of our women, so-called black women, were married before integration. And now it's on the very end. It's on the opposite end of the spectrum, like less than 10%, or in the teens percent. I gotta look up those numbers. But the feminist integration and feminism was the 1-2 punch that really destroyed and spoiled our women by the serpent, the so-called white man. First Corinthians 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is Yahweh. So that's the order right there. But why are they having a woman parading around? Because Esau, let me just get this real quick. Why is a woman being in a race to lead men? That's because Esau is the degenerate, filthy, beta male simp of the earth. Hebrews 12 and 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. And what's profane? That which is offensive to that which is holy, and that's the Most High, his holy commandments. And Esau, he profanes and offends the Most High's commandments. As Esau, the so-called white man, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. So he's a spiritual fornicator, physical fornicator, and he's just a degenerate piece of garbage. And Kamala and all our other sellout men of our nation follow suit. First Corinthians 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. There's nothing decent and orderly about this place. Having a woman run for president and a woman that's wicked and filthy, you're supposed to have a man that's seeking after the Most High, that has a sound mind, and not a double-minded man, and not a psychotic woman that's quadruple-minded, right, and don't have any wisdom, and is a fool. So verse 34, let your women keep silence in the churches. So that's in church, that's in life in general. But these women, see that Kamala Harris laughing, her, being the loudest one. She's supposed to be silent, but a loud, gaining abroad woman is an abomination. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. We're all supposed to be in obedience, and there's particular duties within the commandments that every man and woman has. Men have their particular laws, and women have their laws, that's specific to them, for them to be silent and ask their men at home. See, we'll read verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. So keep your mouth shut out and about. But women, bro, the women are the loudest ones. You don't hear men. When you go out, just pay attention. You hear some men, but, for the most part, 90% of the time, more than 90% of the time, the ones you're hearing are the women. When you're going out in public places, chief places of concourse, going out to the grocery store or wherever, the mall, wherever you go, all you're hearing is these loud, beastly women that have no order. They are out of control. These Western women are the worst women in the history of mankind. For it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church and anywhere. They're supposed to be quiet, have their head down, and be shamefaced. But nah, they're proud. They walk with their head held high, their chest out, and with little to nothing, little to no clothing on, walking around proud, staring men in the eye, proudly looking at men, as if they're on the level of a man. But then as soon as something happened, then they cower and expect men to treat them like they are good conservative ancient women when they don't deserve that. Only women of the ancient mindset, the traditional mindset, deserve that. They deserve to be mocked, ridiculed, and celebrated when they're judged, because just like Jezebel, right, and any other wicked woman, the righteous women, they're good, they're appreciated and respected, but the majority of these women only deserve ridicule and hate. That's righteous hate, because they're wicked and they're against the laws of the Most High, and everything is in chaos. The two major problems in the earth is the so-called white man and the so-called black woman, and the other women that follow her as well, because these women are all out of control. Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. You see that fool Kamala laughing her guts up, right? Laughing at just a mad woman, right? So she's clamorous. So clamorous means just a bunch of indistinct noise, just talking, just running their mouth, laughing, whatever it is. It's just a bunch of vain, unfruitful, baseless, shallow noise. So we go to verse 17. Stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. So like when she locked in her case, applying this verse to her, in that place, in that position over there, when she was in the legal system over there, the so-called legal system in California, when she was hiding information in secrecy, and that was sweet to her because she enjoyed destroying brothers. It was pleasant to her. But she's being, everything that's hid is being brought to light. Everyone's being exposed. Everyone that's wicked, that's in these places of position of power, like from Diddy on, in the entertainment, these politicians, everyone's being exposed for their wickedness. And the Holy Scriptures, when they go out, the average citizen is being exposed, because what their spirit is when they scoff against the Holy Scriptures when they come out, because the word cuts like a double-edged sword, and it's a discerner of the thoughts of every man, to the innermost part of their spirit, and that's why they start and they get exposed. Everyone's being exposed. Everyone's falling to their lot. Either you're of the hopeful elect, sincere, humble, and righteous, and teaching the word, or you're the wicked on the left-hand side, scoffing and being exposed for your wickedness. Verse 18. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. So in her sense, she's destroying men, in prison, and she's destroyed many men in prison. And this goes into a woman committing adultery. So these scriptures are manifold, it has many layers, and you can apply it. That the Most High, he's so infinitely wise. These scriptures are so concise, compact, but then it can be applied in so many ways. There's so much deep understanding you can get from them when you read it. Different multiple times. One day you read read a verse and get understanding, and then a few months later or so, or a year later, you can read that verse again, and then you can get another understanding of from that same verse from a different angle. So, and then then read it another 6 months to a year again later, get another angle. It's just, these scriptures will have many levels and many layers to it, and it's timeless. So let's see, Proverbs 1 and verse 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets, and that's how the men of the Lord, the hopeful men of the Lord, the hopeful 1/3, the prophets, elders, and teachers, speaking the words of the Most High, and rebuking this place. She crieth in the chief place of concourse. You know, like in that's the valley of dry bones, Ezekiel 37, prophesied to the wind. And the digital wind as well through the internet. And whoever will is to hear the words of the Most High and come across videos, you know, that's where it's going to land. Says verse 21, she crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttered her words, saying, verse 22, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? Voting for a woman that's got a psychotic laugh, and a woman that hates brothers and locking them up, and they just vote on them because why? Because of her skin tone. That's simplicity. They love it, and then they celebrate it, right? Who they're going to vote for, just based off of, black people have been foolishly trained. Oh, you're black, you're Democrat. When actually, when you look at it, when you analyze the Republicans, and they're about being more conservative, because the Democrats are what? Liberal, meaning what? Liberated to do whatever new madness and folly and wicked trend comes in the earth, like the rainbow people, and then the transformers, right? The transgen and all of that. And pronouns, what's your pronouns? That's an extremely filthy, decrepit, rotten political party. The Democrats and the Republicans, they're more against that, even though we're not any of that. But you can, when looking at it spiritually, the Republicans have more of a conservative. They're against all that filth that the Democrats are spreading. We're not for any of these parties. They're all wicked, but the Republicans are less filthy than the Democrats. But our people are taught, you're black, you're Democrat, that's who you vote. Or this is a woman, this is who you vote for. Our people are stupid. They don't do any research. They're fools, but then they're proud when you talk to them about something. Our people are like a proud man, a foolish man that's proud. That's two times. That's double an abomination, right? Because our people got very stiff necks, and they're very ignorant and very contentious when you try to tell them things that's right. And that's those sottish children. So verse 22 again, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. And that's exactly what I was just saying. That's the spirit. The back end of this verse right here. Because they're scorners. When you tell them something, they love the simplicity of like the Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and just voting because of the name of the party and not looking at their policies. You're not supposed to vote at all, but at least be educated, have some kind of sense of pride, not in wickedness, but have some kind of take pride in knowing exactly what you're doing. A righteous man, a prudent man seeketh the will to his going, right? But these people are not even prudent. And before they make a vote, they just say, "Oh, this person is Democrat. Okay, I'll vote for that. We're supposed to vote for Democrats because we black." Or this person's a woman. Okay, I want to see a woman do something. Their reasons for it is very remedial. They're very foolish, and they delight in they scorning and then when someone try to educate they simple behinds on on these matters, and then they scorn and they delight in that scorning. And then they hate, and they're fools, and they hate the knowledge that you try to kick to them, right? Our people are just out of their minds, and that's why majority of them have to be put down, because they're animals, just like they've become degenerate, just like the heathen. So I'll get this real quick. I think it's Zechariah 13:8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. That's that remnant 1/3 elect that will be found in the book of life of Israel, so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. And 2/3 that's delighting in their scorning and hating and being foolish, hating knowledge. They will be destroyed because they are only perpetuating. They're holding us back from getting to the kingdom. They must be put down, because these are the ones that killed the prophets in the past. It's the same wicked spirit. So John 19 and 15. But they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, we have no king but Caesar. These are the sellouts, John, 8:32 or 8:44? Ye are of your father the devil. You see, this is the chief priests. Those are the wicked Pharisees that was always coming up against the Messiah, Yahushua. And Yahushua told them what? Let's go ahead and get it real quick. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil. This is in red. This is Yahushua rebuking those wicked Pharisees, those chief priests. And the lust of your father ye will do. And who is he talking about? The Romans, because the Romans because as I said, man, some years ago about the Levitical priesthood, the Levitical priesthood had turned into a political priesthood because the Romans, when they came in the power, the Greco-Roman Empire came in the power, right? The Greeks, and then, merged into the Greco-Roman Empire. They were hand selecting priests to become chief priests. And it was out of order because the chief priests, from the beginning, the Most High set up was through Aaron. The Aaronites were the top priests. And then the other Levites were other, ministers, servants throughout the temple and did other things and duties. But the chief priest that had the most heaviest duties was Aaron and the bloodline of Aaron, the sons that come after Aaron. But then what happened? The wicked Greeks, they know this. They know our history very well, even to this day. That's why they destroy us so much, because they know us and who we come from, and they know exactly what to do to keep us down, to keep us disconnected from our power. So during the era of the Greeks, they began, it became a political priesthood because they were championing and campaigning themselves to be elected by the Romans that were, the Greeks and Romans that were oppressing us. So when you understand that history, you understand what Yahushua is saying right here. So verse 44, ye are of your father the devil, the so-called white man and Romans at that time, that hand selected those chief priests, Pharisees, those wicked ones. And the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. That's talking about Cain, who slew his brother Abel. Because Cain is regenerated through Esau. And then Esau is the father of the Greeks and the Romans, the so-called the so-called Greeks and Romans, which are the Edomites that keeps changing their identity. Because why? A fugitive and a vagabond he shall be. I think that's Genesis 4:12, right? So he was a murderer from the beginning. The Romans, or the Edomites, the grandchildren of Cain. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. Because why? Cain left the garden, right? Instead of doing good and getting right and repenting and praying for forgiveness, he left and did his own thing. He left out of the east, the Garden of Eden over in the east, right? He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And so Yahushua heavily rebuked and cursed out those wicked chief priests, Pharisees that were hand selected by the Romans. And then the chief priests, these same chief priests, that's why they said that's why they said away with Yahushua, because they were thoroughly cut up in the spirit. They were spiritually leaking from the spiritual words that Yahushua constantly chastened them with, and scathingly rebuked them. And so they had a hatred for Yahushua, and that's why they say away with them, that they have no king but Caesar. Because why is Caesar? Because they're of their father the devil. Caesar, the Romans, that's who was putting the chief priests in those seats. That's why they were chief priests, because of Caesar, because of the Romans, the Edomites. So that's how you can understand full circle this verse of what it's really going into. And then the people chose, the murderer over Yahushua, a righteous man, because contrary to popular belief, the righteous side is far more powerful than the left-hand side of Satan, devils, and demons, and the Edomites. so-called white man. That's the physical, that's the fleshly version of that. And then that's why people hate, because they hated, Yahweh said, if you hate me first, if they hate me, they're going to hate you. Because he was hardcore and intensely rebuking them, because he was far more powerful than them, because righteousness is far greater than the left-hand side. And so that's why now when we speak about it, they scorn us and they delight in their scorning, because the words of the Most High is powerful. Jeremiah 5, let's see. And this is why. When you come out of the Holy Scriptures, everyone is a Christian until you start reading the Bible, right? Then they start scorning and delighting in their scorning. If I can find, okay, there it is. Jeremiah 5 and verse 14. Wherefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh the Most High Power of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. And that's why, because Yahweh devoured them with the words of the Most High, the chief priests that were wicked and hand selected by the Romans, and they hated that. And when they were always, because that's why they were always trying to come around and try to trip him up, and trying to ask him hard questions so that they can find an occasion to accuse him, right? But they couldn't, because Yahweh was the man, and he had the word, he had the words of the Most High, he had the Holy Spirit from the Most High without measure, and he easily, thoroughly smashed them with the words of the Most High. And so they couldn't wait for the opportunity for him to finally get accused and judgment to come to him in a wicked way, that they thought, because they wanted to keep their seats. And so they jumped at the opportunity to praise Caesar and the Romans, saying they have no God, no king but Caesar. And that's how you bring it all home full circle, because Yahweh was thoroughly smashing them with the words of the Most High. And they was not going to let that opportunity pass to remove Yahweh, because that's what they were trying to do the whole time that he was, in his ministry. Very wicked, man. They have a lot of blood on his hands. They have the worst deed of delivering up our beautiful, big brother into the hands of the wicked. And he's going to return in his full power and destroy, all of his enemies. Proverbs 11:21. Though hand joined in hand. You want to vote for Kamala, wicked Kamala Harris? Okay. Though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So you're going to be destroyed. Those that want to vote for Kamala Harris, want to defend this witch, and say and want to have Caesar as their king and not Yahweh, and through his only begotten son Yahweh Shah. So I just want to go into that real quick. Hope this video was edifying. The water to Rachakodash Basham Yahweh Shah. Another video. The next video I say. Shalom.